Yo, it's Tuesday. At least I better check my calendar and see because I tend to be confused about that being retired. Yep, Tuesday. I figured I'd just go ahead and go a few minutes early here and go live. I just now posted it, so it probably won't get very many in here, but some of the guys that I do know, I will give them the news or some news and let you know what I've been up to and what's going on. But good to see you all out there in YouTube land. Eventually, I'm gonna. Seems I can't get my YouTube stream to go over to Rumble. I may just go over and go live and try their side out and see what happens. See what kind of audience I can get. But probably more on YouTube for sure. But I'll give it a shot. I did years ago. I paid $10 and it wouldn't even stream live back then. So they turned around and gave me a refund back, which is nice of them. They didn't give me no static. They were real nice about it. Michael Hurtnick. Finally, there's my friend Michael. What is up, brother? It is good to see you. Hey, Michael, I've been talking to Uncle John comments on a few of my lives and what little I do lately. And he says he can't, he's invisible every time he comes into a live or my live. I don't know if it's everyone else's or not. He didn't explain. I told him to open a new account. I don't have him blocked. There's no one blocked in my account. I went in again and looked yesterday. So anyway, I miss Uncle John. If you're out there listening, Uncle John, miss you too, Michael. Good to see you, man. Here, I usually don't do the avatar. Most of you know that. I don't like it. Makes me feel odd. The only good thing is I can just kind of slump down on the bench, relax, and just yak, you know? So that part of it I do like. But I just feel strange doing an avatar. Hopefully Colt, he'll come in. I haven't talked to him. Let me text him. I'll text Colt and tell him I'm live. He may not know it. It's the same on Uncle John's live also. Oh, okay. So Uncle John's having problems then. Only thing I know to do I don't know if he's got a what you call a developed channel. I told him, I said, open you another channel. There's something software or Google's doing to him for sure, or YouTube of course. But that's strange. That is very strange. But nothing surprised me when it comes to companies and software, and especially this platform. They are what they are. I remember years ago when I heard that Google bought it. I said, "Uh-oh, it's gonna change," and I hate that. I wished it was still like it was years ago. I heard from some guy the other day. He's in the PC repair now. He said his income, ad income, went like from, say, if he made $100 ordinarily, he said now he gets like 20 for the same 100 he used to make years ago. Bama Dad, what is up, brother? Good to see you too, man. Good to see all you guys. I don't have long here. I got to run and meet my daughter. So I'll leave out of here, I think, I can leave out at 3, so I do got a little bit of time here. I just thought, shoot, I'll just go live. What's up, Gizzard Gary? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Thank you all for showing up today. Appreciate it, especially this last minute. And pop-up chats, basically. But I have good news. And, oh, yeah, I know what I was going to do. Bear with me a minute. I was going to text Colt. I know I got his thing and tell him I'm alive. I used to email a lot, but I don't email as much. I need to start that back. I've come really close to doing a show at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I messed my thumbnail up and created one on, what was it? I think Canva. And I put 8 o'clock p.m. like an idiot. I don't know why I did that, but appreciate you guys being here. Let me see. I know I got Colt here somewhere. Let's see. ABC. Colt. Because I text him sometime. There he is. Hang on. I'm going to pause myself here, guys, for a second because I talk in the phone. I don't There we go. I texted him and see if because he's usually always with me. I noticed the last time he wasn't in there, and he usually is. I don't think that's probably the first time I've ever known him to miss a stream, and all the time I've been doing it. But I'm gonna try Mondays before Mac. Like I said, 7:30 now, and then probably when time change, Mac Mac will actually start 8 p.m. Eastern at that point, and at that point I'll go at probably 6:30 p.m. I'm thinking Eastern Standard Time. I think he texted me back. He might be off busy somewhere. Hang on, I didn't say that. Got a live stream running right now, Colt, if you want to join in. Okay. Oh, there he is. Okay. I didn't know. My text didn't make sense. I know. I swore I said, I got a live going. Apparently I didn't. But I called I went the other day. Some of you know this. A few of you was here the other day. And I think Gizzard Gary was, I think, at time. I went by the shop last week. And I asked a guy, there was nobody there, but a guy just kind of does tires and things, small stuff. And I said, I'm checking on that doggone 89 Vet. And he says, oh, yeah. I said, they got the motor in? He said, oh, yeah, they got the motor in. I said, can I see it? I knew he was going to say no. So I sat there and I said, okay. He said no. He said the dog was back, our German Shepherd. And he'll come after you, too. Believe me, they have to get on to him. I think he keeps the dog in there to keep people out of the shop. Because, customers can be a pain when you're working on cars. And I know because I used to work in a shop. But anyway, I walked by the door and I looked over to the left, and there it was with no hood. I said, my God, they took that heavy hood off. Jeez, that thing is, I think, got 8 different alignment points, different directions you can go to, and which is okay. And anyway, I've been calling for days. Make a long story short, I've been calling him, and I called him today, and he usually don't. He never answers the phone typically. His workers will occasionally. And all of a sudden, a few seconds later, after I called, it went to the answer machine. It says, the answer machine's full, of course. His box is always full. That way, you don't have to take no messages, which I don't understand that because he's a shop. But he called me back. And I says, oh, man. I said, I seen the thing I said, man, I'm amazed y'all took that hood off. That's a big job. He said it wasn't bad. He said he had 4 guys doing it. And I said, yeah, I said, they took the bumper off, I think, years ago, and they painted it before I bought it. And I said, the hood, I need to bring out the shim while the hood's off. I was thinking about putting a shim, which I can get on eBay, about 1/8 of an inch. And he says, I got probably a Chevy 1/8 of an inch alignment, a shim, which I used to use those when I did alignments. He said he was going to I said, it'll take about 1/8 of an inch on the driver's side. All you got to do is undo 2 bolts, slip one in there. The other, shim goes from top to bottom. You just stick it in. It's about 3 inches long, something like that, 4. And he said he'd find something to stick in there. And I said, I appreciate it. So he's going to line up my bumper that's been annoying me for a long time. And I tested it with a quarter one day, loosened it up on the top, and it pulled it out a little bit. And sometimes with the sun, it'll kind of move and tighten up. Corvettes kind of expand because of that plastic, the way they are. But anyway, he said it's going to be ready this evening. I don't think so. I think it'll be ready tomorrow. I change oil different than most people do. I'm running break-in oil on it. I asked him, I said, what do you usually do? He said, drive it 15 miles and drop it again. I said, okay, I will. Let me go up here and call for you guys out that jumped in here. I didn't miss you. I seen you jump in there. Good to see you, Colt. Michael Hurtnick's with us, and Gizzard Gary, Mike White, 2A Advocacy. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. And who else? That's it. And old Nightbot. But anyway, I figure hopefully by tomorrow evening, my daughter said she'd try to take me I haven't had an answer from my brother yet. That's the way he does me. Funny, he needs me. He calls me on the phone and keeps me on the phone for a while, and always gets a yes. When I text him I need something, he don't answer sometime for a day or so. Or if he does answer, he won't say nothing. So I don't know if I got to have somebody take me down to the shop. And so hopefully by tomorrow I'll be driving. I still got to find a drain. I got a drain on it, which is either a diode and alternator or a bad radio can cause it. And the radio is bad, the capacitor. So they tell you what there's a wire back there. Once you remove the cover, you can go back there and test, and that'll tell you where the drain is. So it's either coming from the alternator or the bad radio, I suspect. The parasitic drain is what I'm talking about. So when I get that fixed, hot dog, I'm going to do a little buffing with a DA buffer I bought from Harbor Freight. And I actually, now with the warm days, I'll still be able to take the top off and head out to Lake Lanier. May even go out to Stone Mountain and cruise around. First time I hadn't been out to Stone Mountain probably, since 1997. And I went in my Red Bet back then. Been a long time since I've been out that place. I don't go anywhere with no work pickup truck. I typically go get groceries. I go swimming and walk in the parks, and that's about it, though, typically. So I am reloading 223556. I got my Lee fixed. That little square thing went bad on me. And actually, probably my fault. But I got 5 of them ordered from Lee, so it's working. I wish I did have the powder hopper, though. But me and my brother, now that I got the vet, I'm probably going to just load the back end up, and I'm going to go to the shooting range. I'll do a little video and post a little bit of shooting videos for you guys. And I kind of got an idea now how to, do little sections and kind of knit them together and edit it, even though I don't like editing. But so I got 223 still to reload. I got one box almost full here. It's been full actually for quite a while. I thought it was full, but actually I'm short a little bit right there near the end. So I'm going to finish this out. I'm going to probably carry 200 or 300 rounds of the range and shoot up. I don't know what I'll shoot up. And I got to do my brother's 40 S&W 155 grain Accura bullets plated. I'm going to do some of those for him. And I told him I need to do a load workup on it. And all he's got to do is stop by here. And I told him, I said, I'll go out in the woods here and shoot it. That's all I'll say. I cannot shoot around the house here unless it's 4th of July, if you know what I mean. But even then, I don't typically do it. A Scottish American. Welcome in, brother. I'm going to email you, Scotsman. I've been thinking about that. I hadn't did it yet. I remember what you said about the payment methods. I just hadn't, I forgot, but I need to email you and let you give me where you're at. And I'm going to, anyway, I'll send you an email here in a day or so. But appreciate you dropping by, man. But yeah, my car is almost ready. But I didn't know what it is. I'd called the past few days and I'd ask him, I said, do you know if they've cranked it? He said, oh, Shay's not here. I said, okay, does anybody know if it's been cranked? Because you remember it had a loud tapping noise, especially when it warmed up. And I was anxious to hear about it. No, we don't know. Why they should know. They're in the dang shop. But I called back again. They said, oh, he's working on it. But I told him today, I said, is it cranked yet? And he said, oh, yeah, we had it running. And he said, it's been running fine. I said, wow. I said, had to be the lifters. So that's what was tapping. It was not knocking. I used the wrong phrase back then. It was actually tapping. And that's no freaking surprise considering 30-something years sitting up, with 14,000 miles on it. As I look back on it, I could have, 15 years ago, I would have pulled the heads and took the lifters out and did it myself, to be honest with you. And wouldn't even pull the motor. But at least I know what's in the motor because a machinist has been through it, and I can trust it to drive out of state and everything. So I feel good about that. Basically, I got a brand new car, even if it is old. Because nothing really, there's no mileage on it, on the drivetrain. I do have to change every single fluid on that vehicle, though. Every single thing I got to do. And I do need a master cylinder. It's slightly leaking, but I think I can wait probably about a month for that. But I'm going to flush every fluid in it and get rid of it. But let's see. But yeah, good to see you all. Good to see you too, Colt. I miss all you guys, man. Sorry about not streaming. I just been having stuff going on. I hadn't been feeling well. Had health issues. Even Brutal Bob. He contacted me, texted me a few weeks ago and says, "What's going on? Mac's not streaming. You're not streaming." And I says, "I ain't been feeling well lately. It's just." And I said, Wednesday nights it's got where it's just a crowded. Even though most of the streams end, I think at 8 p.m. I know Rick's Life as I See It, I think ends around 8, but still, there's still a lot of people streaming Wednesday night. I just don't like that time slot. I still miss the old Thursday slot. I seen Hot Boy's channel today. He's got weights on it and totally flipped it over now to a, new name. I guess because of YouTube. I know something about some bullets he gave away a while back. Something YouTube got a hold of him, but that's all I know. I don't know the story on it. But I hadn't logged on to his site in a while, and I went and I seen those dumbbells, and I said, "Wow!" And he looks like he said he's putting all of his reloading on Rumble and YouTube. I hadn't been over YouTube in a long time. I appreciate it, Mike. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, I just had some under the weather things, and then that car on my mind, calling about it. That's been wow. See, I got all the parts down there. I've told you all. I think it was into July, and he didn't lie this time. I'll say that. But usually he kind of, I think he lies to me. He said I'll start putting it together, and dang if he didn't. So July, August, he took time, and I'm sure he painted my chassis too. So I had paint down there, paper, actually stuff he probably didn't use. I had a big old roll of paper about 3-4 inches thick, that you can tape off. I had drop sheets of plastic from Home Depot. I had a sanding sponge, 2 cans of roll bar and chassis paint. And I told him just paint the part under the motor. So hopefully he did that. I don't know what he's going to charge. I'm sure he'll be fair. If he says $100 just for cleaning it off with a pressure washer and, putting a few light coats on it, I ain't gonna. Even if he says 200, I'm not gonna gripe about it. And good thing about him though is he's not. Even though he charges $2,500 to pull a motor, put it back together. I did all the prep. I did all the gasket cleaning. I cleaned all the parts, got all the rust off the parts, repainted everything on it before I dropped it off. And if I hadn't have did that, he would have put that car back together again without doing that. And if he'd have did it, he'd have charged me who knows, about hundreds for painting that doggone thing. But $2,500, yeah. I sat here because I had the parts, and I just sat here and, I told you all when I was streaming, I said, I've been painting oil pans, timing chain covers, and rusty intake manifolds, and rusty heat shields, and I wound up painting, I didn't want to, I wound up painting the runner tubes and the plenum. The plenum I rubbed with cloth, which gave it more of a natural look. The runner tubes, I put 3 coats on. And I put 500-degree clear coat on everything. So, Patriot from Warsaw. Now, is that Warsaw Patriot? Is that a new name or is that someone else? Because I know I changed mine. Okay, it has to be Warsaw Patriot. Bama Dad says, I got warned by YouTube that was posting hate speech because I said Montel Williams was Kamala Harris's chew toy. I thought that was just the truth. And you mean they made a big deal over that? Jeez, I mean, that could have been a joke. Oh, wow. I tell you, boy, talking about some touchy people these days. Apparently YouTube's a freaking touchy. Their algorithm, I bet they got every freaking word in there doggone scrutinizing their algorithm. I'm American. Yeah. Oh, okay. I got you. I didn't think you were, I didn't actually think, Actually, I may have thought it, but I didn't really give it a lot of thought about you being from Warsaw. When I talked to you, I figured you was American when you've been on the, panel. But yeah, I know what you mean. Yes, they are. It's Warsaw. I changed my title. People kept thinking I was, Yep. Yeah, I actually didn't want Patriot in my name. I just wanted AR 1776, to be honest with you. And the thing was, a guy, some young guy or old, I can't remember his age, but he had another channel had that. Now, I know there's quite a few this, that, and the other channels replicated. And I may end up just putting it AR 1776 anyway. But I didn't like the Patriot in it. But I thought, well, it is a good thing to say, hey, all you Patriots out there, this, that, and the other, kind of make it part of the show, call ourselves the Minuteman, which say even that's been taken on YouTube. I know that. But everybody needs to be a Minuteman. And don't forget, we may end up being in what you call it. If I say this, I may get banned too. We may be quenching the blood or doing the blood again in this country one day again. I hope they don't say nothing about that. But that's what our founders said. I didn't say it. I just repeated it. But that's something they always knew that might happen again, that government would become big and one day we would have to take care of it all over again. So I'll shut up about that. I try not to get too controversial on it. But I thought about getting another channel and doing some political talk. I mean, I can get wound up when I talk politics and political stuff. And I know over there, boy, in Europe, I mean, over in the Middle East, boy, I know one thing. Israel's hitting below the belt. I said that the other day. Whoa, boy. Them people didn't know what hit them. I sent my brother a text of a guy on a motor scooter. It fell over on a car, and he says, he's propped up like that. I said, no. I said, you can roll over on a scooter on you and lean up against the car, injured, and not fall down, under certain circumstance. Yeah, Patriot from Warsaw. Yeah, I'll just call you Patriot for now. But yeah, I appreciate you coming on too the other day, man. Enjoyed having you on. I'm gonna do more panels. Scotsman, I'd like to have him on. I'd like to eventually get Jamie on again. I miss him. And but I'm heading out here shortly. But I thought I'd get on here and talk a little bit. I'm very excited about that car. I really am. It's been a long friggin' journey. I'm not even gonna tell you how long or how old I was when I bought it. How many years it's sat here. It's embarrassing. Basically, I sat here and saved for a long time. I didn't put it on credit card or nothing. And naturally, when I started, restoring everything, I ran the credit card up sky high. That and some gunsmith tools I bought. I just got tired of not having gunsmith tools and wanted to, put together ARs. I enjoy that. Ron Wayne, welcome in, man. Good to see you. Check his stuff out. Ron Wayne does that premiere on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Check out Scotsman. I've been missing yours, Scott. I was going to try to catch yours Sunday, and I ended up I forgot what came up. Something came up, though, anyway. I wasn't able to do it. But I'll come on. I need to make some adjustments for video. Oh, okay. Yeah, Colt. Absolutely, man. I think I mentioned that one time to you. If you wanted to come on, you could come on as an avatar. I just don't typically do it myself. There's a time or two I did do it because I just wanted to kind of lean across the bench, get lazy, and I'd do that. And actually, it's more comfortable for me to put the avatar up. But actually, a guy that did this here thumbnail was a guy that does screen printing. He did this for me, free. And I never wanted to get rid of the guns. I just wanted to kind of get it out of the algorithm. I'm still AR Gun 1776. And even though I got a channel that says Patriot 1776, I took the Nation out. I think I had Nation in there. Heck, can't even remember now. It's been so many times. But good to see you, Ron. DJ Play Nice, welcome in, man. Welcome. Got 11 on. Appreciate you guys taking the time to drop by your day. But I am going to be loading, and I may, if I do some loading during the day, I'll go ahead and instead of a coffee, I'll call it coffee, but I'll just sit here and flip it over, and I'll sit here and load and talk to you guys. I'm not going to do a tutorial. I'll load dummy rounds and talk to you guys, I should have said. But I'll do that. So, but I've got to definitely load some. There's no way around it. And all my dies are set up on the heads. This Lee I like. I kind of would like to have that Ultimate, but Viejo says that Ultimate, even though it stops now with that indentation ball, that he just ain't been going back to it. But I wished I could. That's 5 and 6 slots there for dies. That'd be cool as crap. But my camera's a different place, so sometimes I may not be looking at the camera. But Scotsman says, let me highlight you guys. Even I can read it better when I highlight it. Take that over shit. Dealing with drink, some whiskey. Curious what? Yeah. I used to drink, Scotsman, I used to drink Georgia Moonshine. White corn liquor here when I was in my teens. I'd get it up in the town of Norcross, Gwinnett County, actually, in Georgia. And I used to mix it with honey when I'd be sick or have a temperature. No, you're talking about some kick, boy. I got a guy over and had a Gulf station about a few hundred feet from my house on Beaufort Highway. And they had a lift outdoors, and I was 17 years old, and you don't see too many lifts outside. And I went over and gave the guy a quart of moonshine. And his name was Willie, and that guy let me have access to that lift anytime it was not used. I just go out there and put my car bar, change the oil, look at my brakes, do whatever I needed. So I got a lift out of it. So made a new friend there. That station is not even up and running anymore. It's a shame. It's actually, I think it's a rental place now. It used to be a grocery store and a Gulf station combined out front. Same old guy, Jim. You smoke a cigar. He ran it all the time. I had credit back then. I'd go up and get $10 or $20 worth of gas, and he'd write it down on a thing, and every week you'd pay him. So people don't do that anymore. You ain't got credit. You just don't have credit these days. Yeah, it was good. It was good liquor. I ex-girlfriend here a few years ago had brought a bottle here, and I said, "What are you gonna do with that stuff?" And I should have got it from her and told her to give me some, but I didn't. And she went and took it and gave it to her doctor. And then her doctor turned around, not him, but the manager in the office dumped her because she lived out of state, because she was coming out of state to a different doctor. And she'd been going to him for several years and had a good relationship with him. But I says, well, what it is, she walked in the office and blabbed out that she had driven from out of state. And I said, oh, you should have never done that. Yeah, no way that should have happened. But yeah, I got a lot of stuff to do still. Got rear end, fluids to change, brake fluid. Tell how old the brake fluid in it is, and power steering fluid. I want to drop out. Luckily, I got no power steering leaks, which is kind of strange. I think it would after all these years. So I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna go to the dealer. They got a number for the power steering, a different number I got written down in the owner's manual, and I'm gonna get a few bottles of that. That way, I know I'm putting the exact thing it comes from the factory with, in it. Coach says, I've been getting mead at Lake Seneca, New York. Huh. Okay, not sure what you mean there. This guy builds for whiskey, easy form of payment. yeah, he let me use that lift all the time, for that liquor, just that one bottle. And I had a friend, I probably told this story. We were 15 and we had a few pints of, I think it was a pint. I'm almost positive it was either a half pint or a pint. And he was a part Cherokee Indian. And we were at Dairy Queen one day, and he turns up the bottle of moonshine, and he guzzles it like you would guzzle a beer. Well, as soon as he guzzles it all, he drops right there in the public, right there in the parking lot. Just poop. And about 10 minutes later, he was up, but he was still out lit. Boy, I said, man, I don't even see how you did that. But he literally turned up and killed that whole bottle of moonshine. And that stuff's what, 180, 200 proof? I mean, 100, I don't know, 100, somewhere up there high. I don't ever exactly call. I know used to be some at the liquor store you could buy it. People would call it kind of like moonshine. It was like, 175 or something? Golden Grain, I think it was called. Yeah, Golden Grain. It's been a long time since I thought about that word. But I like your little bar, Scotsman. That's cool, man, how you set that up. We used to have when I first moved here, we even had a cop from Barrow County. He owns a house down the street. He used to have his Georgia state flag with the bars and stars. He used to put up the battle flag, Confederate battle flag. And I noticed years later he took it down. And I told a roommate here 3 years ago, it was during COVID, I was going to put me a 25-foot pole out front, make rocks around it. And I said, I'm going to put the battle flag up there, the don't tread on me flag, and then, of course, the American flag. And he says, you going to do that, somebody going to come along and shoot you or shoot that flag. I said, let them try. But I thought that was crazy because this guy actually believed that. He joked with me one day and said, what are you going to do if in the news, I don't know if you all remember this, but in the news back then, it was an older guy, I think in the 70s, they actually dragged off a porch and beat up back then, and when all that crap was going on, woke stuff. And he started telling me about that. I said, he ain't going to come here. And I said, let him try to pull me off my porch. I said, this here is a conservative county here. It ain't like I'm living in some woke city here, And so it was okay. I said, I told him what I would do. Yeah. I said, I'll lay down the rounds in the dirt right there on the side of the road. I said, it's so hard. They won't know what hit them, even though I wouldn't shoot them, unless I had to. Never do that, of course. Let's see what Scotsman says. I need to put up better, stronger shells. Those were cheap ones off Amazon. I have the materials to build them. I just figure out where the studs are. This old house, they knocked 16 on center or 12. Huh. Probably 24 maybe. But I tell you a good thing, it makes shelves. I got a new bar, we got a new bar down the street here. And they used 90-degree elbows of a plumber's pipe with the round, collar, and they screwed it into the wall and took the wood and burned it with a torch and then put the shelves up there and put the liquor on it. Nice looking. And all it is, you just see the little, the galvanized pipe at a 90-degree bend, and it's holding the shelf up. Good idea. But it looks nice. I said, I wouldn't mind having a shelf like that. I used to have bars, Scotsman, in most of my condos and places I lived years ago. Wet bar in one, and then I just made a bar in another one on a cart. I used to keep schnapps, tequila, vodka, and gin. And, of course, my roommate, he kept beer. But I used to keep quite a bit of shots and stuff at one time. But that was a long time ago, back in my younger years. They all over the place. Evans waterless coolant. Huh. I haven't heard that. Bama Dad. Mm-mm. What is that? Is it a drink? Evans waterless coolant. Also, when this guy took everything down there he needed too, the break-in oil, the gaskets. Of course, the machine shop gave me the gaskets for the car, and so I basically everything he had everything. Every gasket he needed. I even took the. I think about a week later, after I dropped everything off, I went by and gave him an EGR gasket. I had the original EGR valve. It was still good. It seemed to work good. Even the rubber looked good. Originally, I was going to buy one. That's why I didn't take it down, and I took it down and took him the gasket. So, I mean, I bet he wished he had every customer like me, but I was proactive. I made sure he had every part, everything that he needed. Even the spark plugs I went and bought here a few months back. Right, I think probably right about a few days before I went down there with all the parts. Let's see. No, it's okay, waterless antifreeze that you never have to change out. Yeah, I can't. My car calls for now. In my 94 years ago, I did run that 150. What is it? 100. God, I can't remember now. It was some kind of extended orange coolant. I used it back in the 90s, but the 89 takes conventional green, unfortunately. So I'm just going to stick with conventional green. You have to flush it every 2 years too. But I got a new radiator. I also upgraded the radiator with a 2-row instead of one, aluminum radio from Champion. I bought it through Jegs Automotive online. Had a good deal too, like $170. And I think back, I wished I'd bought a 3-row internal, but 2-row is still an upgrade over the one. So the radiator I took off was thin, boy, and small. So that part's been upgraded. But I even took him I usually don't use that, but I wanted to get the mixture right. I just went ahead and bought him, even though it cost me more, 50/50 antifreeze. That way when he put it in there, he wouldn't have to add distilled water. So I just took him, I think, 3 bottles, 3 large containers of coolant. I think I got them from AutoZone. Yeah, not AutoZone. Got them from O'Reilly. Yeah. So he had everything there he needed. Paint even for the chassis. The only thing I didn't take him was anything to clean the chassis, and I got to thinking about brake fluid. I said, no, I might melt my plastic or the harness. Then I got thinking about acetone, and I said, well, I might melt the plastic harness, and I didn't take nothing down there, no chemical at all. I realized what I was thinking. I said, no way. I'm going to get more damage, here, and then getting another problem. Colt says, watching Trump live. Oh, he's in Savannah today? I didn't know that. I read some of the headlines on Drudge, but I didn't see that. Yeah, get out there and vote, everyone. Before this country, I tell you, went so friggin' far in the crapper. I don't even recognize my own country. I even talk about it to the doctor's office, and they're furious. Even the doctor's office, you go to them, they sit there and tell you what they think of it. They said the government's gave the pharmacists power. Everything's upside down. They said that they're nobody anymore. That a doctor don't mean squat. I said, wow. I mean, I sat there probably for 15 minutes, and this lady she's from New York, sat there and tell me about how things are screwed up. But they definitely are. Leno is using it in his multi-million-dollar cars. Yeah, I used to use an orange type. I can't remember. 5 years, something kind of extended. It was extended antifreeze. I do remember that. And back then I didn't have the internet, so I didn't really know. I just said, hey, I'm going to upgrade it to a better antifreeze, and I did. Then I realized, hey, a lot of your cars use conventional green. Our treasured home. Hello, Nancy. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for dropping by. You all check her channel out. She does homestead stuff. She is a very nice lady. I appreciate you coming in. But yeah, I got my car, Nancy. It's coming out. Got air conditioning, cruise control. I've been driving a 4x4 for 20 something years. My air went out 14 years ago. And needless to say, I don't drive that much in the summer. Now, when I had air, I used to go to the pool 3 or 4 times a week. And I did that for quite a while, even after that. And the air could be fixed, really. I just never, I said, I'm going to keep driving it. I'm not putting money in it. My tires on it still got tread. I bought the tires brand new in 2008, and they're still cruising. But I always wonder if they're going to blow out. Definitely, because they're dry rotted some. I said, what Mike White is saying here. I've got to get some Royal Purple Motor Oil for my car. Yep, for an oil change. I almost started to get that oil. I was looking a while ago for a filter. I got the Mobil 1 extended filter for $17. I went and paid it online at where did I pay that thing? I better get the receipt. Yeah, see who I bought it from. I think AutoZone. What's up, Critter? Good to see you, Critter. Appreciate you being here. Let me see what I had to buy that, and I had to order. Well, I'm gonna drive it home, and I'm gonna drain it again with 5W30 break-in oil, and that motor oil is $11 a quart. I'm gonna do that because of a little bit of a metal that might jump in there. It's scraping the hone job because it was re-honed. It wasn't bored. It was just slight hone and put new moly rings in. But yeah, I've got Driven racing oil, conventional engine oil, 5W30 in it right now. So I'm gonna put another in it, and I think I got K&N oil filter. And I read K&N only does 98% or something on second pass filtration. The Mobil 1 synthetic, the high dollar, filters like $15, I think it was, or 17. It does 99% on second pass. So I bought it a few minutes ago, ordered it. That I'm gonna go pick up. The oil they got to ship to me tomorrow by FedEx, I think. Cost me almost $70 just for 5 quarts of oil, and that's no filter. So, but then I'm only going to leave that oil for 300 to 400 miles. So it'll be one oil change next few days when I get it, and then 400 miles, maybe 380. Drop it again, and then I'm going to put synthetic in it. Probably Castrol 20,000 miles synthetic. Either that or Amsoil, one or the other. 5W30 I'm going to put in it. I used to run 050. I mean, even though the 94 said 020 on it, I used to run 050 Castrol back in the early days because they didn't have synthetic oil, all the weights at one time Castrol. They only had that one oil when they come out. I ran that in 2 cars and never had a problem. And I run them hard sometime too. Yeah, Mobil 1's good oil. I'm using their filter. I didn't know K&N. I thought K&N would have better specs than that, because it is a good high flow filter. But I typically won't buy a filter if it doesn't say, 99% or something at second pass and 20 microns. So I bought that. Amazing how high them things are, like $17 or something. I paid for it, but ridiculous. What you been up to, Critter? We'll get you on the panel sometime, man. I'm just on here just to announce the car. I asked him when it'd be ready. He said today, but then I told him about that nose cone. I wanted to get a shim. I said, but I have to get it on eBay. And he said, I got something around the shop. I'll do it. And I said, okay. So it might be ready today. I suspect the way he gets busy, it'll probably be tomorrow. But hopefully tomorrow I will pick it up. And can't do any highway driving, though, for a while. I'll just cruise around on these back roads here and haul butt around the town here, short distances. And get on it. Break it in like a dyno. Fire it up, let it idle back down, probably put it in first gear and let it load up on the pistons and let it slow down. But definitely want it broke in right. That's why I got that. Even though you don't need it because mine's not flat tappet, even the machine shop says, whatever you put 530. And I said, what about the braking oil? Oh, you don't need that unless you got flat Tapex. Well, they tell you can use it for roller lifters too to break the rings in. I follow that guy who is it, oil guy, that nerd from Joe Gibbs Racing. I forget his name now. He's got a YouTube channel, and he used to be with Driven actually. Got glasses. He's an oil engineer. He talks about it. And I had other people tell me, "Oh, just go ahead and throw synthetic in." Well, yeah, it's harder to break in, a little bit more longer to break in with synthetic because synthetic is a lot of lubricity. I don't know if I said that right, but you know what I mean. Appreciate you guys being here and gals today. Let's see who we got here. Critter jumped in here. I even thought about putting a 050 Castrol like I did years ago in it. Because the good thing about the thick oil, under high heat and high torque, which I kind of get on it sometimes, it's good oil and it won't smear the bearing. Mike says that extended royal purple that I use is 12, 13. Ooh, well, yeah, it's up there too. I know it's heck, even Castrol, I think it's what, $7, $8 now per quart in Walmart. I never would have thought a few years ago that oil would be $8 a quart. Yeah, but it did get there eventually. Kind of crazy. I do my own oil change, so I'm definitely I'm gonna start putting clean my motor a little bit in my truck. I'm gonna put Havoline, not Havoline. God, what is it? Valvoline, that clean and protect or something. I forget the exact name, but it protects. You run it about a couple of times, it actually cleans your pistons. If they're brown, it cleans it all like real metal again. I've been watching it on YouTube and on the internet. And they got it at Walmart. And I'm going to run it through my truck a couple of times and change the oil here shortly. The only thing is I do have to keep driving that truck occasionally. Maybe drive it to, Home Depot occasionally for things. If not, it'll just sit here and go to squat. I mean, it already needs things now. It needs a door handle. I got the panel off. Door handle, I tried 2 or 3 and then realized I was going to have to modify them and get a Dremel. I got the Dremel now. To get all those, what is it, Advance is $70-something for a little old plastic door handle for Toyota. Get them online for 18 or 20. Problem is they won't fit the rods. Your lock, they won't fit that. They won't fit the door opener part. You'll break it. And the spring will also jump off on the generic ones on Amazon. So you just waste your money buying them things. I did get a refund, though. I sent Amazon back, and I sent one from Car Parts. They told me to keep it. And they gave me a refund of $18. Carparts.com. So that was pretty nice of them. But, yeah, been a while on here, guys. I missed a lot of you guys talking. Enjoy the show. Miss Echo. Hopefully I'll end up seeing him soon. I got quite a few visits I got to take. I've got to go visit a friend in South Carolina, cousin in South Carolina, and then I'm gonna go visit Echo and hunt him down. I'll let you all know if he's doing good. That's all I will say. I'll tell you if he's doing okay. Bama Dad says, in case you guys finish before I get back, it's been fun. Got to take the dog out. I got to take mine out too, Bama Dad here. He drank. I take the water away from him about 6 o'clock at night because he don't do much. He lays around the bedroom with me. Sleeps to about 6 in the morning or 7. And in the morning when I give him a bowl, he drinks that whole bowl, boy. Bam. And just constantly wanting to go out. Matter of fact, I might have to get off here in a minute and take him out too. Yeah, I hope he's okay too, Scotsman. And but I'll let you all know if he's doing how he's doing. And that's about as far as I can say on that matter. But next, it's all a crying shame. But appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to go ahead here and let me scroll up. I'll call you guys out today. I haven't did that in a while, even though I keep talking to you as I go. People do jump in there sometimes and I overlook it. So. We had Michael Hurtnick here. Good to see him. He was always with me over there. Gizzard Gary was with us. Appreciate you being in here. Mike White, 2A Advocacy. Check his channel out, guys. If y'all want to drop a link, is Nightbot dropping? I signed in to Nightbot. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Type 1776 and drop your link for your show or for your channel. And feel free. Let's see. Michael, Gizzard Gary, Mike White. Colt 1927. Good to see you. And I still do some of the giveaways. I admit I don't have a lot of expensive stuff like others to give away, but I'll try in time to get a little bit more. Occasionally, several times a year, to have a decent giveaway for the shows. The Scottish American. Appreciate you being here. I always want to say Scotsman, typically. See, yeah, you used to, was it the Crazy Scotsman? Yeah. I still occasionally want to say crazy. But I could be wrong on that one. But Patriot from Warsaw. Okay. Patriot from Warsaw. Now everybody's really going to think you're from Warsaw, though. But good to have you on here, Patriot or Warsaw. I'm just going to call you Warsaw, man. DJ Play Nice jumped in here. I think, let's see. Who else here? I know there's other people jumping here because I've seen it. Seems like Ron Wayne. Yeah, Ron Wayne jumped in here. Hope he's doing good. If you're still listening. And like I say, occasionally I'll do a coffee too, but I am going to try to do Mondays at 7:30 p.m. Even if a lot of people don't show up, I'm going to reload a little bit. And I don't have a lot of stuff here. I mean, compared to some people, I got a lot of stuff. I got 5 presses, but I may end up doing some 223 on the 556. I mean, on the 650, and so I may do a show around that one night because I've never did that yet. I typically just throw 500 or 1,000 rounds in there, basically 500, and I'll prime them and size them, and then I'll throw it back in there with a powder and do it. Run it like in 2 operations. Let's see who else is here. Bama Dad, good to see you, Bama Dad. Appreciate you being here, brother. Good to see you too, Colt. Still got your stickers. Never did find that envelope of stickers. I got several things missing here. I had a roommate pass away, and his mind was going. He was having dementia, and he'd go to the house and grab my phone and walk off with it. And I go, "What are you doing?" Well, I've started to notice my oil filters are going in the garage. Several things are missing here, and most likely he picked it up accidentally and didn't know he did it. But he passed away here a while back. But he couldn't. I'd ask him sometimes, "Do you remember what we talked about yesterday?" And he'd go, "No." I go, "Okay." Now he functioned. He drove his truck and everything, but he was losing it. And he didn't eat the last, I think, 3 months of his life or 4 months. I couldn't even get him to drink protein drinks. And I told him, I said, "Well, you're going to wind up in the hospital on an IV and pass away if you don't have some nutrients. You can't go." I tell you, 3 days water, 7 days food thing. And he wouldn't do it. He was stubborn. I got him to drink 1 protein drink. And he said it wasn't bad. And I said, "Well, keep drinking it." And I said, "At least it gives you some nutrition, He wouldn't do it. Sometimes people get that age, you can't tell them what to do. They willfully kill themselves. MCK, good to see you, man. Appreciate you dropping in. Been a while since I've seen you. He's a regular. Check his side out, guys, gals. Appreciate you being here, Nancy. But I got a sinus cold and all that. Been taking cold tablets. All stuffed up. But when I get the car, I'm going to the pool, indoor pool in Gwinnett County off of Ronald Reagan Parkway. Our great last president, a great president we used to have, unfortunately passed away. And there's a new movie coming out too. Dennis Quaid, he plays Reagan. I'm gonna watch that. And believe it or not, he's a big supporter of Reagan too. He admired the man even back in the day. And he said he had principles. And those principles never wavered. And, regardless of politics, he stayed on those principles. And if you look back, he did for the most part. He tried to do what he said he was going to do, even though he failed at some things. And amazing what he did, because everybody forgets he had a total Democrat Congress. I think only 2 years did he have the House. The rest of the time he had total Democrat control. He still got a lot done. That's unreal. Nobody to this day has got that much pulled through Congress from the opposite party. Or from the other party in Congress. So that's something you have to admire. He was good at talking to people like that and working things out. He had a thing on his desk that says you can get ahead if you don't mind who gets the credit. You can get a lot done. Something like that, a motto on his desk. So in other words, to him, everybody else, they helped do it. They did it. If you remember, think back, he always says, I'm not going to save you. We Americans are going to do better. We Americans are better. We can have oil. We've got energy. We have determination. You know, we have American spirit. And I thought about that the other day, how he always says we, not me. And, but he was humble like that. Very humble. Appreciate you guys being here, guys. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get me something to eat, and I got to leave out here shortly, about an hour. Thank you for coming in. Means a lot to me. Walmart has 5W30 for $26 for 5 quarts. Critter says, "Yep." I was gonna run that. You know, the Vets Come recommended. 94 did. It even says it on there. Use Mobil 1. I've never used Mobil 1. Actually, it's the first synthetic oil I think they hit the market back in the day. I remember a guy I worked for had it in his van. And back then it was oil you never changed, believe it or not. They said you put it in there, change the filter occasionally, and that's it. And I remember thinking, I didn't believe it even then in the 70s. I said, I bet this van's going to end up not running that many miles. It's going to end up blowing up one day. But he thought back then, oh, no, it's a synthetic oil, special oil. You never have to change it. And I thought, that's weird. But it was kind of strange. But, you notice years later they changed that. But you all have a good one. We'll catch you later. Catch me on Monday night, 7:30 p.m. I'll try to get this Monday show best I can. Hopefully I ain't working on that car because I got a lot of fluids out here I got to change. Jacking that thing up, putting it on jack stands. Our treasure wants to have a great day, and everyone, God bless. Stay safe. You too, Nancy. Stay safe. Love you all. Have a good one, guys and gals. See you later. I'll keep you updated on the car. So far, though, no knock, thank God. It had to be a lifter. It was the only thing that could allow tap like that. You too, Colt. Hope you're doing well, man. And we'll talk. I'll give you a ring sometime because I got your number. So take care, everyone. Catch you on the next one.